What's up, everybody? Welcome back to RacingNews.com and welcome back to another one of our Breeders' Cup updates. Let's get to it. Last week, I gave you my early picks for all 14 of the races. This week, I'm going to update those picks, kind of tell you if I'm on the same horse, different horse, or what have you, as we get 1 week closer. We have more information this week than last week. Now, remember, it's October 14th as I'm recording this, so this stuff changes. It changes all the time, as it did from last week to this week, and it will as we get into the Breeders' Cup. We find out who's actually coming, who's not coming, everything like that. All right, let's get to it here. And let's go to the Juvenile turf sprint to start with here. Last week, my pick was Johnny's Red Storm. I'm going to stick with it for another week. I don't have any updated news on who might be coming over from overseas, and I think that's going to be the biggest thing that might change my opinion one way or another. As of right now, I don't have anything. I don't know anything new when it comes to that. So Johnny's Red Storm for me, same as last week. Going to stick with him another week. I just kind of feel like at this point, just kind of guessing at this one anyway. So I'm not too worried about that pick just yet. Juvenile turf. Last week I picked Puerto Rico. This week, same. Puerto Rico, Aiden O'Brien trained horse coming in from overseas, supposedly. Don't know yet on this horse yet. Obviously not sure. I haven't heard for sure on this one, but again, if he comes over, I'm looking at him, looking at some of the other European horses as well. If they come over, they've been dominant in this race. They probably will win here. Not in love with any of our turf horses this year in this category. So yeah, I'm on this one as well. Let's keep going, and let's go now to the Juvenile fillies turf. Juvenile fillies turf going to be the same as last week once again for me in this one. True Love. Now, I do have an update on True Love. My man, Curtis Callaward, you know him as Magic here at Racing Dudes, has been covering a lot of the international races overseas for FanDuel TV. He's been on the air a lot for a lot of these races, and he actually texted me out of the blue and said, "You know what? I really love True Love at this spot. I think she's going to be very tough to beat. I've been following this. A lot of the horses that she's defeated have come back to win or at least run well." He really loves True Love, and so I do another week as well. True Love for me in this spot for now. And again, we'll see if she comes over, and we'll see what else comes over as well. So the same as last week. Explora for me in the Juvenile fillies next, same as last week here as well. Kind of not a whole lot to update when it comes to Explora. Obviously a horse that I think is pretty talented and, shown a lot for Bob Baffert, especially last time out going 2 turns. Ted Noffey, same for me as last week again in this spot in the Juvenile. And again, a horse that should be the favorite and really has just run a little bit better than everybody else so far in this division. All right, let's go to Saturday and the turf sprint. Last week was Arizona Blue. This week is going to be the same. Another same for me as I just kind of rapid fire through some of these that have been the same so far. It was Arizona Blaze. I think I called him Arizona Blue. Arizona Blaze. I did kind of read an article saying they feel like he's pretty much going to come over here. They think all systems are go. So that's good. And I think that's always good when you have an international horse picked that they kind of sound like they're going to be coming over. So that is very, very good for sure. Now we get into some changes. Last week in the filly and mare sprint, I went with Copian. And this week I've changed to Hope Road for Bob Baffert. For me, it was kind of more, I think Hope Road's in a little bit better form right now, winning last time out at Saratoga. I've heard some good things. I've heard this horse is working out extremely well. So it's a switch for me here. I wouldn't read much into it past. I've just heard some really nice things about Hope Road. Went back and kind of reviewed this one a little bit more. I know Copian has defeated Hope Road in the past, but I don't know. I just kind of think the form right now for Hope Road pretty good. So I took her in this one this week instead of Copian. This is one I'm really lukewarm on. And so it could change again, but as of right now, it's Copian for me. It's Hope Road for me in this spot. Again, it'll flip back and forth. Let's go to the sprint. Last week, it was Captain Cook. Captain Cook's running in the Perryville this weekend at Keeneland, so I guess that lets him out. I don't think he's coming to the Breeders' Cup. I went back to Mulligan in this spot. I will probably change this again. Out of all the races, I think I like this one the least this year. This was shaping up to be really good, and it just hasn't really materialized. Bookham Dano and Patch Adams, one not coming, one hurt. That really hurts this race a lot for me. Mulligan is a horse I've bet. I bet a lot. And then once he got up against Bookham Dano, I switched. So, yeah, he's my pick here. Don't love it. I'll put it that way. Don't love it. Wish Captain Cook was coming, but it looks like Perryville for Captain Cook. Last week in the dirt mile, I had locked. This week, I'm going Nisos. Article on DRF is quoting Bob Baffert and saying Nisos is working tremendous and is good to go for the Breeders' Cup dirt mile. If he enters, we'll see. And if he's 100%, we'll see. I know the best version of Nisos will win this race. If we get that, I don't think it'll be much of a race. So Nisos for me in this one, as of now, I've got to really monitor what this horse does the last couple of weeks leading up to this thing, though. And if he enters, because, he's very fragile. And so we'll just have to see. He scratched out of the Pacific Classic. He was supposed to run in the Goodwood. He didn't make that race. So I would likely going to flip again, but after what I heard and after how he worked, I'm back on Nisos, but that's kind of just, we'll see what happens. Filly and mare turf last week was Mini Hawk. Stay tuned for more Mini Hawk coverage. This week, Cinderella's Dream. And the biggest reason for me, Mini Hawk is probably not running in this race. It sounds like going to the turf. So I just switched to Cinderella's Dream. I'm going to switch this one, I would imagine, again. Not that high on anybody in this field right now. Cinderella's Dream at this point. We'll kind of see what happens down the road, though. Next couple of weeks, that could change when we finalize who's actually coming over from overseas and who's actually running in this race. In the distaff, last week's Seismic Beauty, this week's going to be the same. Got news that Cavalieri, her stablemate for Bob Baffert, not going to run in this race. So it made sense to me that Seismic Beauty would then become the pick or become a stronger pick. So that's just kind of what that is. We'll see, what happens. Who actually enters in this race, but Seismic Beauty looks pretty good based on her last win there at Del Mar. Notable speech in the mile for me again this week, so 2 weeks in a row for this one. Ran a really, really good third here last year in this race. Thought he was going to get it done, just came up a little bit short. I think he can do it this year. Really, really good form, winning the Woodbine Mile last time out. So I like this horse. I've always liked him. I think he looks pretty good in this race this year. I'm glad they brought him over and they got a prep in him this year. Last one that's going to change this week for me, Mini Hawk this week for me in the turf, and Rebels Romance, going to go against him at this point with Mini Hawk. I've just heard way too many good things about this horse, and I've watched this horse, obviously, with all the replays, and I think she looks darn good, and I think it's telling that they're going to run her here instead of the filly and mare turf. I thought her race last time out in the Arc was super, super impressive. She's got world-class form. I know Rebels Romance won this race 2 out of the last 3 years. I think Mini Hawk is kind of the now horse. So Mini Hawk for me could change again. I would teeter back and forth between the two, but this week, Mini Hawk for me. And then finally, in the Classic, no change. Sovereignty for me once again. There's nothing that would make me change my mind on it so far. Not going to be a lot of news until we have the draw for this race, basically. Well, hopefully there aren't any injuries or anything like that. So just waiting for the draw. But yeah, Sovereignty for me in this one still for another week. And again, if my best bet, if you said, hey, what's one as of right now, and this could change, it would be Sovereignty. I like Sovereignty obviously quite a bit. So as of right now, he would be my best bet of the Breeders' Cup. That obviously could, I should say, change. We'll see what European horses are coming over with. We'll see how some of these fields draw. The draws are important, and who enters is obviously very important. So as we sit here October 14th, though, Sovereignty best bet for me. Again, come back the week of the Breeders' Cup for the updates. Though there will be updates to all of this at not only at on the YouTube page, but over at racingdudes.com as well. All right. Went through it quickly, not a ton to kind of change. I'll do one more of these. Next week, I'll do another one. So we'll have a 3 series, basically. We'll see what changes next week as well. And then we'll get the entries. And then the next week will be the actual previews of the races that you can find here on the YouTube page and over at racingdudes.com. All right, guys, I'll do it for this update. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit subscribe. You really like it. Want to get alerted anytime we do videos like this. And most importantly, come back next week for an updated list as we get 1 week closer to the Breeders' Cup.